Looking to part ways with complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping? Then give your business the edge it needs with USPS Ground Advantage shipping from the United States Postal Service. Keep everything simple with clear, upfront pricing and no unexpected surcharges. Keep things affordable with some of the lowest prices out there. And keep it all reliable with on-time ground shipments. It's time to turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable. This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 2755. 10 Ways to Invest Without the Stock Market, Part 1, by Kalen Bruce of freedomsprout.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. This is the show where I narrate posts from thought leaders in personal finance every single day of the year in 10 minutes or less. And I have a bit of a longer post today. I'll read the first half today and then finish the rest for you tomorrow. So let's dive into the first half and start optimizing your life. 10 Ways to Invest Without the Stock Market, Part 1, by Kalen Bruce of freedomsprout.com. The US dollar is going to collapse. Don't put money into the stock market. Have you ever heard similar advice? I'm sure you have, and for good reason. The US dollar is economically weak, but politically and realistically strong. A weird combination, but it's true. We often hear we should diversify because we don't want all of our eggs in one basket. But diversity in 4 stock mutual funds isn't diversity. It's diversity within the stock market. But it's still within the stock market. What diversity really means. I love the stock market, but I also love diversity because I love investing, and investing without diversity is illogical. There's diversity, and then there's diversity within diversity. Diversity in investing means owning several types of investments. Diversity within diversity means owning several types of each investment. Owning stocks across several sectors, different types of bonds, and cash accounts is great diversity within the paper asset class. But that's all it is. True diversity has to span asset classes and forms of investments. Warren Buffett has been one of the most famous and longest-running advocates for the stock market. That's where he made his money, and he recommends it as the easiest way for you to make money on your investments. But even Buffett has diversification outside of the New York Stock Exchange. Buffett's investing rules. Buffett's famous letters to his Berkshire Hathaway shareholders have not only been valuable for learning how to pick stocks, but they've been valuable in making any investment decision. Here are a few examples from Buffett's letters. Quote, "Focus on the future productivity of the asset you're considering. If you don't feel comfortable making a rough estimate of the asset's future earnings, just forget it and move on." End quote. Many of these comments pertain to Buffett's farm and the piece of commercial real estate he bought in New York. Whether you're talking about a dividend stock or a farm, there are plenty of universal investing principles. There are also 2 basic types of investments: investments that produce and investments that don't. That means you have 3 ways to make money when you invest. 1, you can make money from what the investment produces. 2, you can make money from what the investment becomes worth. And 3, you can make money from a combination of the 2. That covers any investment I can think of. The terms may change, but in the end, you'll be earning money on one of the above 3 ways. The stock market gives you the opportunity to use one or all of these ways to make money, and so do plenty of other investment opportunities. Back to what Buffett says about his 2 non-stock investments mentioned earlier. Quote, "With my 2 small investments, I thought only of what the properties would produce and cared not at all about their daily valuations." End quote. According to Buffett, what an investment produces is much more valuable than what the investment itself is actually worth. This idea is easily explained in the stock market by looking at dividend stocks. But how do other types of investments produce? Investments can produce in several ways. A farm produces a crop, meat, dairy, or something along those lines. Real estate can produce cash flow through rental income. There are all kinds of ways investments produce. Let's look at one more universal investing principle from Buffett, and then we'll get into how you can start investing without the stock market. Quote, My two purchases were made in 1986 and 1993. What the economy, interest rates, or the stock market might do in the years immediately following 1987 and 1994 was of no importance to me in making those investments. I can't remember what the headlines or pundits were saying at the time. Whatever the chatter, corn would keep growing in Nebraska and students would flock to NYU, end quote. It's funny how these ideas that are often thought of as stock market investing tips can span asset classes. That's my point. Look at most investing principles universally and apply the principles to the following ideas. Investing without the stock market. I highly suggest diversifying your portfolio to include some of the following. You don't need everything here, but I recommend at least trying a couple. If you're investing outside the stock market because you're afraid the market or the US dollar is going to collapse, I have bad news. If the dollar or the stock market collapse, it's going to affect other investments. It would affect everything in the world. If you're truly worried about the dollar collapsing, I suggest investing in skills and friends. Skills will always be valuable even if the world economy collapses. If something catastrophic happened, you would want to know how to do things that people will pay you for, and you would want people on your side. However, my advice is worrying helps nothing. And don't forget, quote, "For the spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline." 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. Whether you're afraid of the stock market or just looking for some more diversity, here are some options you have for investing. 1. Hard assets. Commodities like gold and silver are the old go-to alternate investment options. The only problem with these is that they don't produce. The hope is that the value increases, but it doesn't always. It's good to have some hard assets, but I personally wouldn't go as far as backing a 401k with them. Between gold and silver, I personally prefer silver, but the choice is up to you. Gold is definitely the most popular way to invest in hard assets. Here's what Investopedia says about gold. Gold bugs have often encouraged investors to own the precious metal as part of a diversified long-term investment portfolio. Gold is seen as a hedge against inflation and a store of value through thick and through thin. Holding gold, however, comes with unique costs and risks, and the data show that historically gold has disappointed on several of its purported virtues. Number 2, hear that in tomorrow's episode. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled 10 Ways to Invest Without the Stock Market by Kalen Bruce of freedomsprout.com, and I'll be right back with my commentary. It goes without saying that a lot of people don't know where to start when it comes to investing. Many think you need a lot of money to invest. Some put off investing because it doesn't seem urgent. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing for your future. You don't need a lot of money or expertise to invest with Acorns. In fact, you can get started with just your spare change. Acorns recommends an expert-built portfolio that fits you and your money goals, then automatically invests your money for you. And I love Acorns because I feel that this type of automation is exactly the boost needed for the many people who like the idea of investing, but haven't felt ready to begin for whatever reason. So head to acorns.com/OFD or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement. May not be representative of all clients. Tier 1 compensation provided. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. View important disclosures at acorns.com/OFD. Investing involves risk, including the loss of principal. Please consider your objectives, risk tolerance, and Acorns fees before investing. Acorns Advisors, LLC. Acorns is an SEC registered investment advisor. Brokerage services are provided to clients of Acorns by Acorns Securities, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. For more information, visit acorns.com. Looking to part ways with complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping? Then give your business the edge it needs with USPS Ground Advantage shipping from the United States Postal Service. Keep everything simple with clear, upfront pricing and no unexpected surcharges. Keep things affordable with some of the lowest prices out there. And keep it all reliable with on-time ground shipments. It's time to turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable. I thought this was an interesting article because it's great to consider some alternative narratives when it comes to investing strategies. While I agree that you can invest outside the stock market, fear over the dollar collapsing as rationale to not invest in the stock market seems like a weak argument to me. And Kalen even says himself later in the article that if the dollar actually collapses, it would affect all investments. So again, this isn't a good reason to not invest in stocks. The other reason stated here is the need to diversify. But I've felt for myself that I've been able to achieve the diversity I need through a combination of index funds, cash, real estate, and eventually I'll add bonds to my portfolio. It's pretty common knowledge that investing in the stock market with discipline and patience over decades is generally the best way to build wealth because returns in the stock market have generally outperformed other asset classes over the long term. While I have explored diversifying into other assets over time, for me personally, fully leveraging tax-advantaged retirement vehicles was the best place to start investing. The tax advantages plus employer match plus the relatively low effort it takes to invest your money this way is too good to pass up. I mention this because I worry this article sends the impression that you shouldn't invest in the stock market, and I strongly disagree with that. Furthermore, Kalen makes a statement about investing in skills and friends, which is important for ensuring that we're in a position to earn an income. But I don't think that we can replace the need we all have to invest the money we earn, because then we'll be forever required to trade time for money. In order to build real wealth, we need to get our money working for us. Well, that should do it for today. Have a happy rest of your day and great weekend, and I'll see you on the Monday show tomorrow, where we'll finish up this post and where your optimal life awaits.